Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about this amazing, delicious cake that I made for mine and my husband's 6-year wedding anniversary. I wanted to do something a little different, a little special, so I made a vanilla caramel drizzle cake. A mini cake, 3-tiered mini cake. So this isn't going to be one of those videos where I show you all the ingredients and the measurements because I used other people's recipes and sort of combined them all together to make the cake that I wanted. I used Becky XL's vanilla cake recipe. You can see her book in the background, How to Make Anything Gluten-Free. I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon. It's such a good book. So I bought these mini tins a long time ago and I decided to put them to good use. I took out the bottoms of each tin, traced the shape for the correct size onto parchment paper, and then cut out each circle because, I didn't want my cakes to stick in the tin, and parchment paper is my favorite thing to prevent any sort of cake, cookie, anything like that sticking to the tin. I also sprayed the sides just in case, and it worked like a charm. They ended up coming out of the tins perfectly. Here's a little parchment paper ASMR for you. So I ended up having leftover batter, which I just put into some muffin tins, and once they were done baking, I stuck them in the freezer for later. And as these mini cakes were baking, I decided to start in on the caramel. I found a recipe from Bellyful. This was probably the caramel recipe that has had the easiest cleanup for me. Caramel is not hard to make, it's just really time consuming and hot as you're standing over the stove waiting for it to turn this amber honey color. And to be honest, I don't think that I waited long enough. I think I sort of lost my patience and just decided, it'll taste good. And it did taste good, but it could have been a little thicker. But you know what? All that matters is that it stayed on the cake and it definitely added the flavor that I was looking for. So my thought process behind this cake was that, I'm the vanilla, my husband's the caramel. He sweetens up my life, and he is the glue that holds things together. I know it's really cheesy, but that's what I was sort of thinking when I made this cake. Plus, the flavors, vanilla and caramel, I really love simple flavors, and vanilla and caramel are pretty classic and they go together so well. So I highly recommend the flavor combination. For the buttercream, I decided for the first time ever to try what is called a Russian buttercream. I had never before heard of a Russian buttercream, but one day a long time ago I saw on Nancy Birtwhistle's Instagram. If you are a Bake Off fan, Great British Bake Off, you'll know who I'm talking about. She posted a recipe for a chocolate Russian buttercream. I wanted a vanilla one or just a plain one for this one, so I just searched Russian buttercream and I found this recipe. It is the recipe that I think I found with the least ingredients. It is butter and condensed milk, and that's it. You can add other flavors if you wanted to, but I really wanted to just try the classic version because I've never had it. And here you can see, this is where I kind of messed up. You're actually supposed to keep the mixer going as you add the condensed milk, but I spaced out. I didn't do it. But you know what? Even though it was a little runny, it still tasted so good. To assemble my cake, I just put some parchment paper down and started stacking the cakes. I put a layer of buttercream and a layer of some drizzled caramel between each layer. And I've got to be honest with you guys, frosting is not my strong point. I am trying to get better at icing cakes. To help me out with this, I actually ended up putting the cake in the freezer for 10-15 minutes just to help it set a little bit more. And it was so good. It stayed together as I cut it. So satisfying to cut through it. I love a tall layer cake, and this was actually my first time attempting to do it. I've always wanted to try it. And even though it's only 3 layers, I'm pretty proud of of how it turned out. I mean, look at this. Look at it. Here it comes. I know, it takes a second, but oh yeah, look at that. It was delicious. So that's what it looks like on the inside. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed making the cake, and I look forward to showing you more. See you next time.